Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pondcast. I'm Anthony, this is Steve, and we will have a guest for you as well tonight. Thank you for joining us. As you see, our host is not here tonight. John is dealing with some housing issues, some flooding in his apartment or something or other. He's always got issues, but not just housing issues, all sorts of issues. So we like to remind him of that and make fun of him for that. But tonight we have a lot of exciting happenings that are going on, a lot of news, a lot of updates, and we couldn't be more elated to be here to share them with you. So please give us your thoughts via YouTube or Google Plus through the Hangouts, and let us know what you're thinking, and hopefully we can bring some of your ideas into the broadcast tonight and make it a little more interactive. So again, thanks for joining us. Steve, why don't you bring us into the first update, which is ACI, the African Chelonian Institute's website, and where that's at right now.
Well, before we get there, we should give a shout out to our sponsor tonight, Reptiles. Check them out at omnireptiles.com. They have bearded dragons, chameleons, geckos, iguanids, monitors, tegus, skins, mastics, ball pythons, boas, colubrids, other pythons, turtles, tortoises, salamanders, newts, frogs, toads, tarantulas, and scorpions. Hence the name Omnireptiles. So you can check them out for all your reptile needs, I guess. They have quite a wide selection, and so they're our sponsor for tonight. Now, African Chelonian Institute, we're going to bring Kevin Labille on now. Kevin is the, not only does he work with us at the Turtle Room as an educational resource developer, Kevin is also the communications and fundraising officer for the African Chelonian Institute.
Hello.
So, Kevin, welcome.
Hi, thanks, Steve. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me tonight. Again, it's my pleasure, as always. Yeah, we're launching the ACI website pretty soon, I believe in
Monday.
4 days. Monday?
Yep. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, about 4.5 days from now.
Yeah.
But who's counting?
Sorry?
I said, but who's counting? Obviously, Steve is.
Yeah.
Steve's good for that. That's why we do a good job on a lot of the stuff that we do, because Steve is usually counting and keeping track of all of those sorts of details. So
Yeah,
Steve has actually worked on the website and has actually built the website. I'm sure he's working on sharing it right now, Steve, so everyone can see it.
No, we're going to keep that under wraps. I could show the preview page again if we want to.
Just as a refresher. We have some new people on here, and
yeah, let me load that up. If you want, you can go to africanchelonian.org right now, and you can check out our little coming soon screen. And please sign up for their newsletter so you can be apprised of all their news, their projects. We'll probably be sending something out here right before the site goes live as well.
It's a really good looking site. I've seen it, and it's really just impressive. And Steve, you've done a great job on it. But of course, the important factor that really makes it such a great site, beyond Steve's web building skills, are all of the amazing things that ACI is doing. So, Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So ACI is working. I think we have 5 projects going on right now. Actually, it's 4, and we're working on the 5th one. You will find more details on the website, of course, and a lot of pictures, good pictures. I can give you a little piece of information if you want. We're working on Pelusios sedentinii, Kinexis omeana, Also, the Nubian flapshell turtle that we discussed about the last time I was here. And there is two more projects. I cannot remember.
Chenexus rosa is also connected with the Homiana one, I believe.
Yeah, yes, it is. But it's majority of the Chenexus omeana because it's endangered.
Right.
Those two species are both forest hingebacks, right? So
Yes.
as a project, they're combined into one. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah, correct.
As forest hingebacks, even though they're two different species, one gets larger than the other. They're both kind of roped in together.
Also, one is endangered and the other is not. Omeana is endangered. I think it's critically endangered. Erosa is not. So our priority is Chenexus omeana, of course.
Now you mentioned before that the Holmes hingeback tortoise was recently upped to critically endangered, right? But Erosa, the other species, was that kind of reviewed at the same time, or has that one also just not been reviewed yet? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yeah, it has been reviewed, but
okay.
For some reason, yeah, it's not injured.
Okay.
Okay. The main concern is really the Nubian flapshell turtle.
Right.
It went from before. I forgot the IUCN status for that. But well, anyway, right now it's critically endangered, and that's our priority.
So is ACI working with animals in the wild or in captivity or both?
Let me think. We're working on both. Chenexus omeana, we're gonna work on the. We're currently setting some captive breeding. We're trying to get a captive colony. But we'll be working on in its natural environment in Benin, because we have like a collaboration with Benin. So we're gonna work over there. Pelouses and Sonai, we're working on site in Senegal at the Tok reserve. And I believe that's it.
Just so everyone knows, that's Adamson's mud turtle. It's a lesser known African mud turtle species. That's really attractive turtle and was once thought to be a synonym of Pelusios nanus, the African dwarf mud turtle, which is now becoming a little more popular. I'm reading up on them right now, and Kevin was nice enough to give me some rare literature that I wasn't able to get my hands on myself. So thank you, Kevin, for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I just checked the other project. It's a sea turtle project. So I'm not very good with sea turtles. It's mainly Thomas. Thomas will tell you more. Maybe we can have him sometime, hopefully. But what happened is there was a lot of dead sea turtles on the Senegal beaches, and we're trying to evaluate the reason of this problem and try to figure out a solution for that.
That's wonderful. No, we've had I feel like movie critics who have been able to see the movie before the public and then give their. I've seen the website beforehand that Steve's been working on, and it makes sense because he does have a lot of photos of sea turtles there. And I was wondering what the project was because I hadn't heard of it yet. And for me, I'm like you, Kevin. I'm no expert on sea turtles at all. I read a little bit here and there, like I'll read a book by Pritchard and he'll talk about them, but I'm not going to pick up a book that's just on sea turtles. Not at this point.
Exactly.
Anyway. I have too much to learn about the stuff that I'm working with and I'm really interested in. So I'm not going to venture out into that stuff just yet. It's too different. So that's cool. It's cool to hear about that because we don't necessarily know about that.
Yeah, Thomas is very concerned about sea turtles. It's a big issue in Senegal right now.
Right, and everywhere really. Seven species of sea turtles, right? And they're all endangered. And
I think they're all endangered actually.
It doesn't matter where they lay their eggs. There's always going to be an issue with humans. Beaches are like the most, the busiest places in the world. That's not good.
And if it's not humans, it's raccoons or feral pigs or what have it.
Dogs, yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's actually a problem in Australia. I think it's fox. The fox that kills the.
Oh yeah.
What's the name of that little turtle? The endangered Australian turtle, the smallest species in Australia.
Are you talking freshwater or the Australian?
Yeah, freshwater.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't think of which one you're talking about right now.
Is it the western swamp turtle?
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Pseudomedura
umbrina.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, well done.
A little trivia for the day.
Sorry?
Great. Well, Steve, any other questions for Kevin, or we think we want to move on?
Well, actually, I guess it was, I don't remember if it was January or February, Kevin had challenged you to name the species that is used in the logo of ACI.
Oh, yeah.
And so remember, we had kind of saved that for when we were doing the last push up to their website. So now, Anthony, what species is resembled in their logo?
Can you pull it up again, Steve?
Yeah, give me a second here.
So it was designed by Ferry.
Ferry Grunwald, who did the design. He's a wonderful artist, and my undergraduate degree is in fine arts. So don't tell anyone that because I'm embarrassed. But
there you go, Anthony.
Ah, man, that's bad. This is bad. I have no idea, guys. I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint. Look at the shape of the first vertebral. That's a hint.
Kevin, this is what's. I should have done my research ahead of time, but I didn't know this was going to come up. I want you to teach us why it is what it is, but I'm not going to embarrass myself with a guess because I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you why. Just Pelusios and all African species in general, Pelamedusa, whatever, everything is just a jumbled mess in my brain. This is what I'm trying to sort out right now. So please enlighten us. Tell us why.
It's a Pelusios species. It's cupulata, Pelusios cupulata.
Oh my gosh.
And so it was designed from the specimen that was used to describe Pelusios cupulata. So that's the picture. That's the design is based on that picture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so cool. Yeah, absolutely. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So what? The first vertebral scute, which
yes.
the scutes, the vertebral, just so everyone knows, the vertebral scutes run down the middle of the shell. The costal scutes, which are on the side of the shell, the word costal means like of the ribs. So the ribs connect to the costal scutes. The marginals are the small scutes on the outside, and then obviously the vertebral scutes are where the spine is fused to the shell. So the first vertebral scute is what identifies this species. So what species does it differentiate it from that's close to it, Kevin?
So there's Pelusios niger.
Yep.
It depends how you say it. Pelusios niger and Pelusios cupulata both have this kind of huge first vertebral. It's very large. It lines up the first pair of plural.
Yep.
As you can see here, and it has like a little, like I don't know how you say it, a small arrow.
Oh, yep. I see.
Yes,
yep.
That's typical from Pelusios cupulata, and there's another one. Also, the shape of the head is like a triangle.
Mm-hmm.
So Pelusios niger, Pelusios cupulata both have this triangular head. There's I forgot there's a couple of more hints to identify the species, but mostly the first vertebral with the little arrow uh, could guide you to this species.
That's very cool. That's so cool. I love that. See, I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, Steve, that we need to do more of this stuff where we actually talk about things like that. Instead of just a conversation, actually bring up like a diagram of some sort and actually talking. I just learned something new. I get excited. Like, let's be honest here, fellas. I don't know it all, okay? At all, or anything close to it. I have so much more to learn in so many different arenas. Just ask my wife if you don't believe me. And it's cool. It's cool to be able to see something new like that, and something specific too. Yeah, where you could share your expertise with us. I love that, and I think that's what this show is all about. So, thank you for that, Kevin, and thank you for your help with that. Your literature too. Yeah, definitely. Very cool.
No problem.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Kevin, and good luck on finishing up rest of preparations as we push towards Monday. And I know I'm real excited to get that launched and see what the response coming in is like.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it too. Well, thanks guys for having me, and you guys enjoy the show.
Thanks. Have a good night.
Bye, Kevin.
Good night, guys. See ya.
See ya. Well, that was good.
Definitely. All right. So where do you want to head next, friend?
Well, I think it'd probably be nice to talk a little bit about our website and to kind of pull it up and look at it and talk about some of the key features that we think are important and that you have worked so hard on. While we do that, I'll just get people up to speed. In case you didn't notice, in the upper left corner of your screen while we're talking, you'll see the new Turtle Room logo. It's got the two turtles next to each other, the smaller turtle as the negative space inside of the larger turtle. That's our new logo, and we released it last Friday as part of our new website launch. So we have a new site design that Steve has so graciously developed and spent countless hours on, and it really is a wonderful thing to be a part of because he really is such a talented website designer. And so there's the there's the logo. Steve and I created the logo together. I spent countless nights trying to figure out Photoshop, reteach myself Photoshop because I hadn't done that in about 10 years since I've been out of college. And that's it. So looking for something that was a little more conservation feeling, a little less hobby related, a little more conservation related. So if you look at conservation logos, zoo logos, things like that, this is a little more in line with what you'd see there. So that's what we were going for. And it's a little cleaner as well. So it looks better on t-shirts and merchandise. So that's where I'll plug the fact that we now have pre-orders for sale on the Turtle Room website, which are for both t-shirts and hoodies. There are 5 different color options in the t-shirt, and there are how many different options?
5 in the sweatshirt. Some of the colors are different, though. It's not the same 5 colors, but.
Wow, very interesting. Okay, so and then 5 different options in the sweatshirt. Very nice. So we're really excited about this, and they're actually pretty affordable as well. So we're definitely excited about it, and I'm looking forward to it because I want to get my shirts as well. So the more people that order them right away, the quicker we'll be able to go ahead and put the first big order in. We're going to do it either way, but I'm making that promise right now. So Steve, if you're uncomfortable with that, I'm sorry. Steve is going to put.
The sooner the shirts get ordered, the sooner we play, or the sooner we get more pre-orders, the sooner we order the shirts. So. Yeah.
Steve is pretty rich. He's rolling in the dough, in case you didn't know. So
yeah,
he's going to order them anyway. But a pre-order just again makes it more likely that we'll order them sooner rather than later, and makes it more likely that the size and color that you want will be in stock. Because we're not going to order a ton of them, and it'll be limited to whatever whatever we end up choosing. So if you want a medium in the really nice teal color, we might only have 2 or 3 mediums in the really nice teal color, and they could be gone, for instance. Or if you're like me and you want a 3XL tall, then you better pre-order, because we won't be ordering a lot in the bigger sizes unless you pre-order. So, do you have the site ready to pull up?
I do have the site over here. I figured we'd talk a little bit about the logo some more first, and that's kind of where it all started. Last summer, we decided we wanted to kind of head towards a logo that was going to be easier to print and duplicate, a logo that would look nice in one color, and even the full color version was only a couple colors, because a lot of times printing 10 colors like we're in our other logo kind of makes it difficult and expensive, even for just printing nice paper goods. So we really wanted to kind of simplify it, especially as far as the number of colors went. And we also, like Anthony mentioned, we wanted to kind of continue our push as an education and conservation organization. And while the previous logo was a really nice piece of artwork, we just felt like it looked a little more like somebody's hobby than an organization that's aiming to educate and conserve turtles. So, so the first step was designing this new logo that would look good in black and white, would look good in our green color and white, and then look good in a 2-color version. So that was actually about a 6-month process from the time we started it till it's in the form you see now. And Kevin, who was just on with us, actually left a comment here. He wanted to know what species are represented in the logo, and I would say there are technically species that we use to kind of represent, but there's no real markings or anything. You could generally say the big one is, or they're both really, some of the more domed Cora species. An adult in the back and a hatchling in the front. Anthony, I believe, knows exactly which species he used to help create the logo with, so I'll let him finish answering that question.
I do know. The well, the bigger turtle that is the background is the full color background turtle was a is a Cora embonensis, and the smaller turtle in the foreground is Cora mccordi. So McCord's box turtle, and what's the common name for ambos now? The
Malayan.
Malayan box turtle. I wanted to say Asian box turtle, and I knew that wasn't what we were calling them. So yeah, I just happen to like the shape of those 2 turtles, and then I kind of messed around with the head of that bigger turtle a little more, and to me it just ended up the actual shape of that turtle's head, and then the way it came out, it like reminds, because of the way it's like a silhouette, it reminds me of like a podoc, like a South American river turtle head. It doesn't. I know you. This is just what is going on inside my brain. Just because of the way that like the corners of the head are accentuated, it just kind of looks that way to me. But I would never think that just because of the shape of the turtle. But that's what the head has looked like to me. So once you use the original turtles as inspiration, then you just try to make it look like a decent turtle silhouette, and that's what we were going for, just basic. We didn't want it necessarily to look like anything, but knowing what images I started with as the original inspiration, I think is pretty cool. So anyway.
All right, now on to the website. Once we finished the new logo, we realized that our new colors weren't going to match with the old version of the website. So we then began the process of creating a new, clean, smooth website that would accentuate our new colors. And so here it is blown up on the full screen, our new logo in the horizontal form. Now up top here, you can. This is a newsletter subscription form. We're sending out our blog and some other things through newsletter. Every now and then we might send out a coupon for our store. And so we've been talking about the T-shirts. So let's go pop in here and check these out. You can kind of get an idea what the design is going to look like for our T-shirts. All right, and so I'll pull up the T-shirt, and then later I'll get to the sweatshirt. Here comes. Now our T-shirt is going to be available in both a unisex T-shirt and a feminine cut. Here you can see this is the teal color that we really like on this shirt. We're really excited for these. We're also offering it in an ash gray, a black. There's the teal again. A green that they call grass. It's not quite our green, but it's fairly close. And then a traditional white, which our logo really pops off of well. And then the sweatshirt as well, and the colors that are the same on the sweatshirt are the ash gray, the white, and the black. And we're also going to be making it available in a charcoal color, which is almost the same as black, and then this neat-looking sandstone color. We think this will be a cool little sweatshirt here. Some other new features on the website. You can now actually become a member of the Turtle Room to support our mission, to help us continue developing educational resources and to continue developing conservation programs. This funds will go towards the website, and then after that they will go towards maintaining groups, especially those involved with species survival programs and things like that. For the cost of the membership, we're doing $35 a year. You will get a print copy and an electronic copy of our annual newsletter, which we're going to start this year. It will be out in November, along with a copy of our annual calendar. And so you'll get both of these things shipped to you right around Thanksgiving. We're also going to give you discounts in our shop on food, calendar, the T-shirts, and more when you become a member of the Turtle Room. And then, in addition, you'll be subscribed to our regular blog newsletter as well. And we're also going to do green membership for those of you that don't want the print copy of the newsletter. You'll just get the electronic copy of the annual newsletter. And then we're also going to offer a group membership for $100, but you're actually going to get 4 copies of the newsletter and 4 copies of the calendar, and you still get all the discounts. So that's kind of one of the biggest new things on the website. Anthony, is there anything you want to talk about in particular?
No, I just think it's cool, to be able to see everything. Obviously, the new look, the white background almost has like a healthcare feel, and it's very, it's very present, very current, and that's really a big part of what we're trying to do. And again, Steve's web building capabilities really make it possible for us to do that, and I think that's how we try to differentiate ourselves a little bit. So it's a proud moment for us to be able to, provide this service to people. Really, where we have these educational resources all in one place that we're constantly trying to build on. We're constantly building our team with thoughtful breeders and conservation-minded individuals, and I think the past few years, the progress that we've been able to make is a telling and very exciting sign of things to come. So good job, Steve. Congratulations on a job well done. This is the only piece that I think that we need to elaborate on a little bit and just let people know what's going on with our newsletter right now and the World Turtle News. Basically, every day we will be sending out World Turtle News. We're not trying to plagiarize and take other people's articles and put them on our newsletter, but we are trying to bring really up to the day
Awareness.
Yeah, and fast breaking news right to your email for you. So if you're interested in seeing what's going on and staying current, you can subscribe to the newsletter and get all of that information.
Yeah, so 6 days a week we're going to be publishing a World Turtle News entry into our blog. We've got a team of guys who are going to be working on that. Kevin, who was on earlier, is actually kind of heading that up in some ways. And then we've brought in a new guy named Rodney. He has a real passion for turtle news, and many of you may know him as Tortoise Blog on Twitter as well. And so we're not really going to be posting news articles here, but we will be talking about them and linking to news articles that are elsewhere. So you can just kind of know that they're out there and go read them and find out what's going on in World Turtle News. And so this is going to be a feature that runs Tuesday through Sunday each week, and then we'll take Monday off.
You guys like a pizza restaurant? Take Monday off.
That's right.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. I like it. So yeah, this is a really exciting thing, and we're really looking forward to seeing how it all develops over time. But right now, we couldn't be more excited with with the startup of that. So, and there's Steve, in case you didn't know. And there's Jaron.
I just figured one more thing to toss out there. Chris Leone and Andrew Hermes have contributed a number of resources for us over the past year and a half, and so they actually join us now on staff as educational resource contributors. So I just wanted to recognize them right now, and that kind of segues us into probably the next bit of big news, and it actually involves Chris, and it involves Andrew, and it also involves our good friend Jared, who many of you see posting stuff all over our Facebook page pretty frequently. So Anthony, you want to share the good news there?
It would be my honor. We are so proud. I've been commenting to everyone that I talk about it for the past few days that honestly these feel like wins for all of us. And although I had nothing to do with this and would never get a sniff of an award like this, it just means so much to have our friends and colleagues be able to have such success. So anyway, without further ado, I will actually let you know what I'm talking about. So the Reptile Report, which is a rapidly growing website for anyone who's not familiar, they kind of bring everything. They try to bring everything from all over the web to one convenient place where you can stop and see what's going on, mostly on a lot of the forums. So if someone shares a great photo on a forum that you don't subscribe to, that you don't visit, they will bring that photo to you in that one convenient location so that you can see it and kind of not feel like you're missing out on anything. So one thing that they do is the best of a given year. They give out awards. The best of 2014 awards are what they were just giving out. And as you see, the Editor's Choice Award for Chelonian, or Turtle and Tortoise Breeder of the Year, is our good friend and partner, Jared Siedkowski, and we couldn't be more proud of him for that. Chris Leone was the winner for Reader's Choice, so that's the one that's voted on by his sorry, my wife is down here giving me a look, making fun of me for being a nerd. Being voted on by his customers and friends and things like that. And Andrew, our good friend and partner, was the runner-up in that honorable mention in that category. So we're really excited about it, and we couldn't be more proud of them and their accomplishments this year. I'll also say, John, when I told John today when we were preparing for this, he made an interesting comment about Jim Carrey in a past MTV Music Awards where Movie Awards, when he was up against himself for an award, and that's kind of how we felt, because it didn't matter who won really. We were just excited for what happened with everybody that was involved. So it's a really great thing.
definitely. And we should also, while we're talking about these, we should mention some of these other folks. Camp Kennan was an honorable mention in the editor's choice. So he and Max Morph were runners up to Jared in that category. And so there's a couple other nominees here. So head over to the Reptile Reports site and check out all their best of 2014 awards. In addition to these awards, Jared also brought home Reader's Choice Turtle Image of the Year and Editor's Choice Turtle Image of the Year for 2 separate images. So he had a big year here, and so we're just really excited for all of that. So that's kind of our big news, because they just started announcing the Editor's Choice Awards within the last day, and so this is kind of hot off the presses. Jared Siatkowski as your 2014 Editor's Choice Breeder of the Year from the Reptile Report.
And there really were so many people that were up for those awards that are really deserving, and for me, it's kind of hard to quantify what people do as breeders. You're not really there. So some people, I'm sure that a multitude of the world's or the country's best breeders are not sharing what they're doing. So it's really difficult to quantify that. But we saw a lot of the names on the list there. A lot of the turtle and tortoise preservation group board members were there, and some really big names, and really some gentlemen, some people that have our respect for sure, and that really mean a lot to the turtle conservation community. And I know that our guys who received this recognition are happy just to be mentioned alongside those a lot of those names. So kudos to them as well, and I think it's just an all-around great thing, and really feel fortunate that we were all able to go along on this ride. So.
Oh, definitely. And here, you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do right now.
What are you going to do?
And so, give me a couple minutes, all you viewers out there. But
what are you going
so
to
this
do?
is going to be a limited time only, and so let me get it going here. Limited time only, and by limited time I mean from now until midnight Eastern time. So give me a little bit here to get it up on here. But from now until midnight, once I get the coupon up, and I'll tell you the code once it happens.
I don't know what you're doing, but it's wild. I'm not ready for this. This is what Steve does. He gets an idea in his head and he just runs with it, and it's really great because this is how things get done. The key to getting ahead is getting started, and that's what he's doing.
Yep.
So I can keep talking about our breeder guys. I was on the phone with well, I happen to have some recent experiences with a couple of the guys over the past couple of days who received this recognition. So the other day, on Saturday, Steve and I were at the Hamburg Reptile Show with Chris Leone, who won the Reader's Choice Breeder of the Year, and he was there. And it's great to see him in action, not just making his occasional sales and whatnot, more than occasional, I should say, but just will drop everything all day long to answer anyone's question. It's really cool, and he's just so humble and excited. Like I said, he's the one that kind of put that comment into my head. He didn't mean to. It's just how he is. But just really humble, really excited to be listed among the names of everyone else that was in the running for that. And I know we said it when we had him on there before, but if you're looking for a healthy captive bred animal that will come with follow-along support, then look no further. And as far as Jared, I was on the phone with him earlier today. I swear, Jared is like Jacques Cousteau meets Tom Crutchfield meets your best friend from high school. He's like the coolest dude, the most down-to-earth, coolest dude. But when you talk to him, he is involved in the coolest stuff ever. I mean, he always has the greatest photos to share with us, and I tell you, if you follow us on Facebook, you see his photos all the time, and you know what I'm talking about. But if you could see some of the stuff that he shows us that he says, I don't have really permission to share this publicly, but just take a look. It is unreal, the things that he is privy to seeing, and it's just cool to work with him, and he kind of does everything with like the excitement of a kid, but with the knowledge of a real pro, if that makes sense. So he just does it with a lot of passion, and it's infectious. It's infectious, and when you spend a half hour on the phone with him, you just get off in a great mood. Because he's just a great dude to talk to, but then also because he's just so passionate about what he's doing, and like I said, he's involved in the coolest stuff ever. You wouldn't even believe some of the stuff that he's doing. So, kudos to both of them, and obviously Andrew's great. Arizona Tortoise Compound is a great, reputable place, and he breeds in large numbers that most of us couldn't even fathom, and has customer service that's really second to none. So I'm just really proud of all those guys. In case you couldn't tell, I'm pretty proud of those guys. So, Steve, still working?
Yeah, I'm still working.
Good. Well, we can keep talking.
Yeah, you keep talking. I've almost got this ready
right
here. So,
no problem. So, I'm trying to think of where I want to go next. So, right now, I'm up here in sunny Connecticut, vacation land as it's known. I'm just kidding, that's Maine. And I'm under 3 feet of snow, and I feel like spring will never come. So for all of you that are in better climates, that are already seeing mating behavior from your animals, or getting eggs, or you're getting out into the wild to go herping, getting out in nature, I envy you greatly, and I would like to tell you so in a much more derogatory fashion, but I won't. I'll leave that alone right now. But a lot of my animals are sleeping right now. The basement is right now is 64 degrees, which is actually very warm. That's the warmest that my turtle room has been in probably 3 months. So very exciting time here. A steamy 64 degrees for all of my animals. My spider tortoises wake up about every 2 weeks just to take a little romp around, usually flip themselves over because they're completely out of sorts when they're in the middle of their brumation period, or kind of quasi-hibernation. My Hermann's tortoises are getting very restless. They're indoors. They're Eastern Hermann's, and they can survive here outside year-round. They are indoors for the last season. This spring, and this spring they'll go out and they won't come back in next fall. They'll stay out and they'll hibernate outdoors. So I've worked out how I'll be doing that. My Geoemida species, both japonica and spangleri, that's the Ryukyu, or Japanese, or Okinawan black-breasted leaf turtle, however you want to say it, and the Vietnamese black-breasted leaf turtle, are sleeping and have been for about 3 months. So I'm hoping I can get a little warmer in here over the next few weeks to hopefully wake them up and start them eating and get them into breeding mood. And even the Blandings turtles have had slowed down over the past couple months. So definitely a boring time down here, but definitely an easy time for as far as keeping and husbandry goes. So if you don't hibernate your animals, or you don't let them cool down, I think you should consider it. Obviously, it depends on the species, but if you give them an opportunity to cool down and have a slower growth period during the year, a lot of experts, a lot of keepers think that helps in healthier growth. especially with those species that will be slowing down. Now, a red-eared slider, they can hibernate. They can hibernate here in Connecticut, here in the Northeast, which is much colder than they would normally be exposed to in the wild. So just because they can doesn't mean you want to force it either. So a slider would probably be much better served being pretty warm throughout the year with a very short cool period and cool nights, and then being able to warm up in the sun during the day. So a total cool down to 50 degrees, for instance, for 4 months, they can take it, but why push it in that case? So, just educate yourself on the different species that you're keeping and what is best for them if you're going to try to breed them, or if you're just going to try to keep them in the most natural manner that you can. So that's a little spiel about what I'm in the middle of right now. So, Steve, are you still working on that, or are you good?
I got it ready to go.
All right.
Ready to go.
Prove it. Drop the sledgehammer on us.
For the next 4 hours and 14 minutes,
drum roll,
you can go to our store and you can save $1.50 on a t-shirt or sweatshirt. So your coupon code is Pondcast15. Pondcast15. And so only those of you listening live and those who watch right after we finish up, sometime within the next 4 hours and 15 minutes, are going to be able to take advantage of this offer. So Pondcast15 special offer for our viewers right now, and that coupon will expire midnight on Thursday morning, the 5th. So you got now 4 hours and 13 minutes, $1.50 off a t-shirt or sweatshirt. So there you go. There's your special Pondcast offer tonight.
For those of you that don't know, Steve is a mathematician. So right now he's going to tell us how much $1.50 is off of
$18.
What percentage is that?
It is about let's see, it's about 1/9.5 is
1/9.5.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
Okay.
Percentage. Well, no, it's less than that. Sorry, $2 would have been a ninth, which would have been 11%. This is like a 7.5 to 8% off the T-shirt. So
wow.
It's not a big discount, but it's a Pondcast offer discount.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to confess something to you, Steve, right now. Okay. I'm decent at math. I'm decent. I'm not a mathematician like you are, but I will say that I know enough about math to know that was a difficult percentage to give you, and I did it on purpose, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Let's check here. 1.5 out of it's 8.3%. Yep.
Like when you said you were going to drop a bombshell on us, and then made me wait 4 minutes and talk about it.
I wanted to make sure I had it ready. That way, if somebody jumped at it the instant I said it, it would be ready. So, I'll repeat it one more time. Pondcast15, you can get $1.50 off T-shirt and or sweatshirt.
I was waiting for something wild. I was thinking like first 5 callers to the Turtle Room phone number. I'm pretty tech savvy, in case you didn't know. So callers to the phone number get a free shirt. That's what I thought you were gonna do. I thought the gloves were coming off.
Can't go that crazy.
But I already told everyone how rich you were.
Except I'm not. And we gotta have some money here to run the site with, so I can't give it all away.
He wants to give it to you guys, but he can't. That's the issue. So that's what we're all dealing with here. Now, me, on the other hand, I'm even more poor than Steve is. And that's what's sad about this. I promise. I'm just kidding. I'm definitely poorer than he is. So anyway.
You have a kid, though, so,
That's true. I do have a kid. I have the youngest turtle nerd in the world living in my house. She's 7 months old. Like Monday, she turned 7 months old, and she is captivated by the tortoises. It's a very exciting thing. But she's not allowed to come down here very often because children have, I guess you'd call, compromised immune systems, and are more
Yeah.
susceptible to things. So my wife thinks that just stepping down into the basement that she'll leave with salmonella no matter what. So I got that going for me. So life is pretty grand right now. But fight the stigma. All turtle and tortoise people fight the stigma against turtles and their relationship with salmonella. It's a joke, and any animal can poop in a kid's mouth. Remember that. Any animal can poop in a kid's mouth. And just because there was some bad publicity in, what year was it, Steve? 1975, the 4-inch rule? 4-inch
Somewhere
law?
around there. Somewhere around there.
So somewhere around the mid-70s, ruined it for all of us. And now it's extremely difficult to buy hatchling turtles. And you can't tell me that a baby bearded dragon can't poop on somebody, because I've seen it done. But just saying, for anyone out there who's wondering. So
I do know for sure that baby Geomytis spangleri will poo in somebody's hand.
that's true. He saw it last week. He saw it last week. And you can't unsee that. An animal pooping on you, you can't unsee that. It doesn't matter how much you like the animal, how small it is. When another living organism poops on you, I know this from my daughter as well. When another living being poops on you, you don't forget that very quickly. So I'm just saying, I've been pooped on by snakes, I've been pooped on by bearded dragons, I've been pooped on by more things than I want to mention, but you can't tell me turtles are the only one, and you can't tell me that it's safe to consume dog excrement. However, I'm sure kids have done it, but because dogs are such a mainstream animal and everyone has them, the unorthodox usually suffer. And I know this is something that reptile keepers suffer with a lot, but keep in mind dogs and dog attacks, as opposed to snapping turtles or alligator snapping turtle attacks or Burmese python attacks. Because it's unorthodox, because people don't know about them, because they're slithery or angry looking or what have you, there's these fears associated with the animals that are built that are based solely on fear and not on knowledge at all. Just like how people are afraid of flying, but you're much more likely to perish in a car crash. So it's the same sort of thing. So that's kind of what we're dealing with the 4-inch law and with what's the word? Injurious wildlife. Injurious wildlife. Learn something new every day. Injurious. And it's kind of unfair, but it's the fight that we all have ahead of us. We talk about it all the time. We have a bunch of young guys that are part of the Turtle Room. There are so many gifted young people right now. There's a young herpetological contest going on that Russ Gurley is involved with, where young people who are excited about herpetology and studying to become herpetologists in the future can submit a cover letter and an essay and reference letters to go to the International Herpetological Symposium in San Antonio, Texas. The coolest thing ever. There's so many great things going on that make you feel good about being a younger person involved in this stuff. And believe it or not, even though I'm overweight and have a bald head, I'm under 30 myself. I'm excited about that, But we have to understand that even though we have decades ahead of us, if we're lucky, luck willing, And that's a good thing because we have the opportunity to work with the things we love for a long time. We have the ability to save up for the animals that we want to work with, or to save up to take the trips into the native habitats of the animals that captivate us, or to the zoos to meet the colleagues that we work with on the stud books and all of these things. It's really, really exciting. However, lack of knowledge from lawmakers, lack of knowledge, from people who are taking animals out of the wild or are destroying habitats to put up condo complexes, it makes certain parts of our hobby, our interests, our conservation efforts very grim, and we need to be ready to fight for what we believe in. And it takes a little bit of the excitement about the future away. So keep that in mind. Educate yourself as much as you can, and be ready to fight the good fight. Hand in hand, side by side with people like us who are willing to do so whenever necessary. So,
speaking of young people and fighting the good fight, that connects me right to one of the news items we posted in our World Turtle News blog today. So I am going to try to pull that up here really quick. Today is the 4th.
All day long.
3/04/2015 in the state of New Jersey. I think in the Jersey Shore area, which is Jersey Shore is, well, generally it is the beach area, but there's also a town called Jersey Shore. But anyway, so
everyone
Jersey
knows
Shore.
Everyone knows about Jersey Shore, man. Snooki.
That's right.
No, come on, man.
I wanted to, most people think of it as a general area, and I'm trying to.
No, they don't.
The more
they think of
specific Jersey Shore as well. But anyway, so
they think about
some students at a New Jersey Shore school have gotten state legislatures to introduce a bill that would finally make it illegal to catch or take diamondback terrapins from the wild in New Jersey.
What took so long?
And so this is huge, because up until this point, diamondback terrapins in New Jersey have been a game season or species. There has been an in-season and an out-of-season. The governor even issued an injunction, I believe it is. Let me go read that. From our moratorium, I think is what they called it, on this year's harvest season. So they ended this year's harvest season early, and there's currently a law in the legislature that would make it illegal to catch or take diamondback terrapins from the wild in New Jersey if it is passed. And this is all because some students at the Marine Academy of Technology and Environmental Science in Manahawkin have they went and stumped for the secure long-term security of the diamondback terrapin. So, young people, you can do good things like that, and hopefully the legislature continues to move this forward and actually passes that bill.
That's wonderful. That's awesome.
And so, for those of you listening, you might have already gotten this in your email this morning and knew about that. But in case you didn't, we're going to cover it here anyway.
In case you didn't, you should have. So make sure you subscribe for the future so you don't miss important information like that. And wouldn't you feel silly if JWoww, Pauly D, Snooki were involved in this and you didn't know about it because MTV cut it out of one of their episodes? Do you know what I'm saying? It's important stuff. This is important stuff. Knowledge is power.
I hope the store's working for all of you. Haven't seen anybody buy a shirt yet, but hey, I hope it's working for all of you. And just remember, I'll say it one more time: Pondcast 15, save $1.50 on a T-shirt in our store, or sweatshirt. And one more time, we want to thank Omni Reptiles for sponsoring tonight's show. And so check out omnireptiles.com. They have all sorts of reptiles, from snakes to lizards and even to the invertebrates, like spiders and tarantulas, I think, or scorpions and tarantulas, I mean. So we also want to apologize if it wasn't as funny or fun as usual, since our in-house comedian John wasn't here. So Let's hope John will be back with us next month. And
there's no amount of planning that could ever make Steve and I funny, and that's the problem. That's the problem. We need to work on it. We need to come to grips with it, Steve, is what we need to do.
Very true. Very true.
Next month we're going to tune in while we have a support group for people who need to be funnier, led by Steve and myself. Make sure you guys check out Omni Reptiles. One-stop shopping. Honestly, it's like the Walmart of reptiles, of live reptiles anyway. So really looks like a cool thing.
All right. Is that it for tonight, man?
Sounds good to me. Let's close.
All right.
Let's close up shop.
Felt like there was one other thing that was on my mind, but now it's gone again. So
gonna have to wait till next month.
Oh yeah. Well, speaking of next month, we actually wanted to tell you we actually have the next episode planned already, which is probably the earliest we've planned one. So mark your calendars for April 6th. The first Monday of April. We think we're going to try to get on a regular schedule on the first Monday of each month. With maybe a couple exceptions, since like Labor Day, for instance, is always the first Monday of September. So anyway, we're going to be trying for the first Monday of each month. So Monday, April 6th, is going to be the Pondcast episode 16. So mark your calendars. Join us at 7 p.m. Eastern, and hopefully our fearless comedian John will return, and Anthony and I can return to our normal roles, me playing in the background and Anthony being the sidekick.
April 6th, a day that will live in infamy.
Today might be more infamous since John isn't here.
That's true. Notorious. This is a notorious episode. The cult classic that only a few Pondcast fans enjoy.
So,
this is the one.
Yeah.
This is the one.
So, John, we missed you. For Anthony Pierloni, I'm Steve Enders, producer, and signing off, I guess. So, have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Hit up our website, hit up Omni Reptiles website, and safe driving out there, all those in the Northeast tomorrow, as we experience one more round of snow. And so, and Anthony's ready to fall over asleep because he shoveled so much, he's worn out. Apparently, we really don't know how to do a quick sign-off, do we?
Never do. Just when you think we're leaving, we stick around for another 5 minutes.
So let's try one more time for Anthony Pierleone. I'm Steve Enders, and we're signing off. Have a great night.